explore the wisdom of the revered Narada Bhakti Sutras, a cornerstone of Hindu devotion, with His Holiness Swami Jyotirmayananda. Experience 45 enlightening lessons on the essence of Bhakti Yoga. Discover the path to pure love for God and transcend the material world. Embrace the teachings that have guided devotees for centuries. Attain spiritual perfection through devotion. Prepare to understand the depths of divine love. Find your path to spiritual enlightenment. Trust in the sutras. Follow these instructions. Be blessed with devotion. And now, His Holiness Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanurmardhanam Devki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. We offer adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Narad Bhakti Sutras, Sutra number 64. I'm reiterating the sutra to give you further additional points. Abhiman dambhadikam tyajyam. On the path of devotion, a devotee should renounce pride, hypocrisy, etc. Figure out what etc. means. The project of devotion is to allow the feeling of your heart to be absolutely pure, like the sparkling waters of the Ganges. There's a double benefit. To the extent your feeling is purified, there's a great joy in living. The life becomes highly enriched. When feeling is cramped, one lives a very shallow life. So day by day, the quality of life diminishes if feeling is cramped. If feeling blossoms, the sky is the limit how much you will be joyous, expansive, fulfilled. Details are given in the Gita. All the asuri sampat, the demoniac qualities should be eradicated. And all divine qualities one must develop. This is in harmony with all religions of the world. But there is an art. First is to notice the negative quality within yourself. Don't justify it. You become angry every now and then, and someone says anger is not good for you. You start justifying what will happen to the world if people are not angry with those who are doing negative things. If you justify it, then you cannot progress. First point to understand that it is something that diminishes me. I will be much better off if I have control. And then bring to your mind great personalities who are well known for their mastery over the mind, saintly qualities, whose personalities exist like sandalwood tree. You strike against it, the very weapon that you strike against it becomes fragrant. It's a figurative language. There is simple formula, 3S. As a negative sentiment tries to enter your mind, for example, anger is coming to your mind, it doesn't even knock. Find a blanket and just put over its head. Suppress it. The first stage is suppress. Don't act it out. Next stage, substitute. The counter quality, positive quality that counters anger is love, forgiveness. So when you sit down for meditation, that's the time you begin to educate your mind. After you have done your prayers, you are sitting quiet, and you notice that even though you have been practicing sadhana for so many years, and yet abrupt words come out of the tongue and mind begins to think of negative things. The normal reaction will be to go on hating yourself. So many years you have been doing, and what type of personality are you? But that normal reaction is a big error, because that way you are intensifying the negative quality. Don't go on remembering the darkness, the dark days. We remember the beauty of the sunrise. When the sun rises, all the dark, no matter how long the darkness had been there, moves away. Much in the same manner, a positive quality is like light. So, bring a suggestion to yourself. It's called asserting. Assert within yourself. I am, deep down, a ray of God. It's natural for me to be God-like. And that's what I'm going to be. And therefore, I am growing in a positive direction. And I am embodiment. Let me play it out. I'm an embodiment of love. I get from the hands of God a basket of goodwill, and I will shower to all. No one will be ignored by me. The love cures all. Love is the greatest weapon humanity can ever imagine. It's the destroyer of the world process. It blesses the whole world, brings all that is good, and every soul reaches a state of unity with God, union with God. So for that particular soul, the world process terminates, which means no more coming back into many embodiments, no more being thrown into turmoil. So follow these 3 points. Negative. You notice a negative quality. Try not to act it out. Any quality expresses in 3 ways. Say, for example, anger. If you didn't restrict it, then it will come into the stage of your words. Words will fly out of your tongue. You will become extremely eloquent. You will not have to even consult the dictionary. And it comes down to the lowest level when you start throwing things around. And if you are a little more cultured, the only one suffers is your door. You must realize even doors have God behind them. And we are insulting God. Now, therefore, in the process of controlling anger, try to educate your mind. No matter how angry am I will not touch any objects of the world. I will not tighten my fist. I will not throw things around, no matter how angry. Then try to deal with the second aspect. I will not even use words that are hurtful. In each aspect, it will take its own time, but this is a good thing. You take a good project and you don't think of how long will it take for me to complete it. It's a lifelong project. You want to be healthy? It's a lifelong project. You want to enjoy mental peace? It's a lifelong project. You want to develop good qualities? It's a lifelong project. So then, suppose you have come to that stage. No matter how angry you are, your words remain completely under control. And of course, your body remains under control. So much so you look at the person and smile as if nothing has happened. But you start tormenting yourself. You go back home, your mind is filled with anger. Countless words are flowing in your mind. Oh God, send that person to hell. Now, therefore, you step up your practice, not even in your thoughts. Otherwise, you are damaging yourself, even though outwardly you have controlled the physical, the vocal, which has saved you a lot of problems. But you are creating a lot of problem internally. Try to develop an understanding. You are not the judge of people. Let all the judgment done by God. And go on developing faith in God within you. God within you is watching. Because you had done certain negative karma, He allowed the person to talk and insult you. If you had didn't deserve that, and were completely in a different level, God would paralyze any person who tries to hurt you. All this I'm giving not to justify people hurting each other, but developing an internal understanding that can allow you to remain calm. So, in the stage of controlling anger, I gave you the 3 stages: action, vocal, speaking by words, and mental. When anger doesn't enter the mind, the energy of anger has become sublimated. That's love, divine love. The sublimation of anger is very powerful. Therefore, you can understand the power of sages and saints. All the time they appear very calm and cool. Look at Mahatma Gandhi. And terrible turmoil occurred in the masses, talking about all the upheaval caused by political situations. But his silence was the power behind it. His goodness was the power behind it. The power of goodness cannot be imagined. This is the most dynamic power, most effective power that goes on helping humanity for a long, long time. This is atomic bomb, not atom bomb. Buddha exploded it. Jesus exploded that bomb. All sages and saints, they have allowed that bomb to explode. And countless generations will continue to be affected by the radiations. See, the ordinary bombs create radiations. And so much so that even the instinct of animals and birds gets affected just by radiation. But here is a different type of radiation. So that project should go on. When you notice anything negative within yourself, don't fight against it. Don't feel humiliated by it. Don't look down upon yourself, because all that is wastage of energy. Rather, try to stay back. First stage, suppress it. Don't welcome it, suppress it. Next stage, think of God. If you are worshipping God or any particular deity, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, and try to see that quality blossoming in that personality. You want to control anger? See God, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Rama, absolutely radiating peace, boundless love. All that you do is to admire love in God, and your anger will go away. Because you are a reflection of God. That's a subtle Vedantic point. When you are seeing your face in a mirror and you find something wrong in the reflection, that's what you see. You don't put your hand into the reflection to correct it. You look for the source. Your source is God. Discover in God the quality of boundless love. Automatically, you who are just a reflection, your error will be corrected. That's a mystical art. That's why we have created Sahasranam. Every deity is worshipped by so many names, which are different attributes, qualities of God. If you are developing too much conceit, then turn to God who is so humble. The sun has risen. He is right at your door, waiting, doesn't even ring the bell. He waits until you open it. And the sun comes softly. Just giving an illustration. All divine movements are with great humility. All incarnations were humble. So different qualities of God, as you go on meditating upon them, those qualities enter in your personality. Now, we come to another level. In 65th Sutra, Tadarpit Akhilachara San Kam Krodh Abhimanadikam Tasmin Eva Karaniyam. Having dedicated all his activities, developing a state of surrender. When we say dedicating all activities, doesn't mean you stop your activities. But developing a special feeling that every action you do is a form of worship of God. The spirit of surrender should permeate your life. That also is an ideal. You have to go on working for it. A devotee should direct his passion, anger, pride, etc. towards God alone. Now there comes a practical reality. if you are not allowed to be angry, not to allowed to have all those impurities of the mind which have gathered in the mind, and the practical world requires them. You want to shout at someone, you want to scold someone, makes you feel good. The sutra says, go on doing that. We are not asking you to shun those, but direct them to God. As your heart begins to understand that God is the only source of all, so why go into indirect way? Direct all your negative feelings, sentiments to God. Now, to many, this is a kind of a novel idea presented by the Vedic culture. To others who are not well educated about it, the idea of directing anger to God, blasphemy. Directing any impure feeling to God. But it is not so. Simple illustration. Parents' relationship with their children. Now, let me just focus only on the mother aspect, because that's more profound. A child, as child grows, child has all those sentiments. Wants to be angry, wants to kick someone, wants to scratch. But the target of all his actions are mother. And nobody is hurt. Mother becomes exceedingly happy. The child is getting strength in the lungs, strength in his hands. And the child receives more and more shower of love and compassion, affection. That's the simile to be adopted towards God. God is your mother, your father. And if your mind is developing agitation, I don't know what to do about it, direct it to God. Oh God, I'm angry with you. But just like in a child, it directs all its anger, etc., but there is a deeper layer within the child of surrender. Who else can protect me? Who else can support me and sustain me? That is never deleted. That's always there. Similarly, you would go on developing that childlike surrender to God and watching your mind that is gradually trying to understand God. But as a child, it will kick now and then. It will shout now and then. It will show all types of impurities that human mind is capable of having. But God is the target. Be angry with God, be in love with God, and so forth. Srimad Bhagavata gives you the quotation of regarding this. Kamam krodham bhayam sneham aikyam sauhridam evacha natyam harau vidadato yanti tanmayatam hite. Those who direct their sentiments of kama is a passionate love, krodha, anger, bhaya, fear, sneha, affection, aikya, a sense of unity, and sauhardra, good-heartedness. These all are the sentiments that every human being deals with all the relations around you. Direct all towards God, because God is the only reality. It is God playing all the parts. So why to be affected by the part people play? But what they are at deep level, that's one way to look at it. But basically to understand that all your sentiments are not directed to human beings. This will have its own progressive movement. You can't suddenly develop it overnight, but a progressive move. The more you understand the source of all things, God, and who else you can communicate with. God is the only one very centered within your heart. Everybody moves around. When these sentiments are directed to God, they all become sublimated. Because God is the destroyer of demons. Whenever we speak of all the scriptures filled with the story of God destroying, Krishna destroyed this demon one day and another demon another day. Demons are the same energy that expresses as love becomes short-circuited and expresses as anger. Same energy that expresses as humility can express as conceit. So in all negative qualities, you are experiencing energy that is short-circuited, divine energy. As you begin to love God, He enjoys killing those demons and liberating them. And that's what is enacted in the Bhagavad Puran, where Krishna's story is told. Every day people see some demon die. And every day there is festivity. And each time a demon is killed, something magical happens. A light comes out of the demon, enters into God. People become confused. God is so abrupt. A demon gives liberation immediately. And to people, they have to practice hard for attaining liberation. Shouldn't we become demons? But the message behind it is to see how a negative energy immediately becomes corrected by God's presence. This is also stated by Kabira. Kabira man nirmal bhayo jaise ganga neer. Paache lage hari fire. Kahat Kabir, Kabir. Kabira was a great sage and saint. She says that when a mind was impure, when all those negative qualities, anger, hate, etc., crowded the mind, I'm giving you a further dramatization. When they crowded the mind, then only source for a devotee to have support. Oh God, please help me. Where are you? Someone tells, oh, go to the temple. You go to the temple, you look at people and you find they whip up your impurities, your anger, greed, jealousy. What has happened? God has run away from the temple. You came from the front door, he went from the back. You go to pilgrimage centers and there also God runs away. Because you go along with all those negative qualities. On the other hand, Kabira says, when my mind became pure, I didn't have to go to God. God is running after me. He's Kabira, don't leave me out. When the water of a lake is calm and clear, sun reflects in it. Insists on reflecting upon it. Saying, oh lake, don't leave me out. Understand the beauty of these statements. This is advanced poetry. In 66th Sutra, Trirupa Bhanga Purvakam Nitya Das Nitya Kanta Bhajanatmakam Va Premayuva Karyam. Having broken the triple form of relativity, when you are practicing devotion to God, there is a triad. You are the worshipper, God is worshipped, and there is an act of worship that you are performing to please God. You, your act of worship, and God, three things are there. That's called Trirup. As long as your devotion has these three components, your devotion is in a lesser level. If you are in profound love of God, love has blossomed and your individuality seems to fade away, then all the three have blended. The illusion of the three is broken. Same thing is described in Raja Yoga. The difference between samadhi and ordinary meditation. In meditation, you have that three types of awareness. I am meditating. This is the object of my meditation. And these are the degrees of my meditation. I'm doing better than yesterday. But when you enter deep into meditation, all this moves away. You are simply have gone deep in deep waters. Same way, in developing devotion to God, there comes a stage where your sense of individuality fades. You have entered into deep waters of unity with God. Even the term unity doesn't arise, just you. Lali mere lal ki jit dekhaun tit lal, Kabira said. The devotee expresses that experience. That is, I went out to look for the beauty of my beloved. It's dramatizing. He's a lover looking for a beloved. And he went out to look for. And what happened? Everywhere there was the beloved. There wasn't anything that's not the beloved. Jit dekhaun tit lal. Lali dekhan main chali. I went out to find the beloved. Where was he hiding? But the question of finding doesn't arise. I myself became the beloved. The river entered into the ocean and became the ocean. That's what people talk about, divine communion. You become blended with God. All these are figurative words. The soul is like a reflected sun in a jar of water. That reflected sun, the moment the water becomes extremely purified, the reflected sun is in tune with the sun. It's always of the sun, but it doesn't have the same attunement. Once it has the attunement with the sun, the water, like magic, begins to dissolve and move away, evaporate. That reflected sun in a jar of water went out to look for the beloved sun. When it found the sun, what happened? There was no jar, no water, no reflection. the sun shines on. In order to reach that state where we break the threefold relativity or threefold illusion, one must adopt a special attitude or special bhavana. And there are 5 types of bhavana in Bhakti Yoga, which I will elaborate next time. Presently, I will give you a simple idea. Shanta, peaceful. Shanta bhavana is secretive. Outwardly, you wouldn't know that a person is a devotee of God. He does japa, doesn't tell anybody. He is constantly reading, and nobody is looking around, reads the Gita. He doesn't highlight his worship. But it's all there, goes on developing it. Bhishma is a classical example. Next one is Dasya. Dasya is I am an instrument in the hands of God. I am his slave. Not my will, let it be his will. In a very good slave-master relationship, slave enjoys all the blessings of the master. Only one thing he doesn't enjoy, all the headache of the master. Let God has the headache of all the creation and what will happen to the world and the universe. I'm just a slave. Next type is Sakhya. Arjuna developed that relationship with Krishna as a friend. Dasya relationship is developed by many saints and sages, very general relationship. Sakhya implies you develop a sense of great confidence in relating yourself to God. So you open up your heart. You don't feel that if I open up my heart and I bring out something ugly, God will give me big punishment. The point is, God already knows what is in here. So, be friendly, open up. If you don't like God, tell him. I'm practicing truthfulness. Sincerely speak. You are not doing well with the world. That state is a very profound state and doesn't imply that in any way you are insulting God. Rather, is a relationship of amusement and joyousness. Because ultimately, when God says something, as if Arjuna, when Krishna said something, Arjuna bowed down to it. So it's a friendliness of a mind that is receptive for a higher instruction. Next, Vatsalya is a tender state. You love God with the tenderness of a mother, and God is like a baby. You are not expecting anything. But the very fact that God can be loved by you is all that you want. That's the greatest privilege of life. That you can love God, God who is absolute love. What will he do for you? Doesn't matter. A mother wants a child, that's all. What will the child do for you? Will he remember all the money you gave to him? That type of love is a profound love. And then comes Madhurya. Madhurya is profoundest sweetness, compared to the human language, love or beloved, very profound love. But any simile you give is just ordinary. Just like we give simile of deep sleep for understanding samadhi. If you want sleeping to enjoy samadhi, that will be terrible. So human love at its height reflects that state when a devotee is in love with God. The only difference, he doesn't fall. He's going up and up. He doesn't fall in love. He goes up and up. And as a result of that, that's enlightenment. Ultimate goal is reached. All these points are involved in this particular sutra that you should develop. That's your project. Premaiva karyam. In your life, that's the goal, to love God and go on working for it. Convert every sentiment or direct every sentiment towards God. And with this we can Om Shanti Shanti.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of spiritual growth. It's an honor to learn from the wisdom of Swami Jyotirmayananda. As we part for now, remember, the quest does not end. Take time to reflect on today's insights and integrate them into your life. Until next time, stay open, stay curious, stay present. The light within you is always shining.